Pt.2, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dion and I call this the crazy troll nation of YouTube. This here is chapstick cotton candy. I pulled it at random. Okay, so my numbers are off because this look I'm doing now, this pairing, and you know what we're pairing from the title. I didn't plan on doing it because I was starting to feel like I was using Bronze Seduction in a lot of the pairings towards the end of part 2 of this series. But then I said, you know what, I do have one more day left with nothing in it, and I was going to try to cram in like 2 looks with one quad and then 2 looks with the other quad, and then pair the quads together and have it, you know, like 8 looks on video or something. And I said, you know what, let me just take my time because I've been doing this all month, so why rush now? You know what I mean? And I do like each palette or each pairing having its own video. But for the quads, I may do 2 looks one video because the quad is only 4 shades each. Or I can just do individual videos and they'll just be short because these have been like 30 to 45 minutes long. And so I'm still trying to decide what to do with that. And I do want to do a series with another brand, but I also really want to use those 2 quads because I have not used those yet. So if you're new here, hello. I call this the crazy troll nation. The crazy, just enjoying doing videos if you do them, knowing it's okay to just be your authentic self, not doing videos in a way that you're trying to emulate someone else or someone else's personality, but letting your inner self shine through. The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community's standards. You set the standard for yourself. Use whatever tool you want, whatever products you want, whatever techniques you want to get your makeup on in the way that you want it to. Because a lot of times watching videos, we may feel like we need a certain thing because we're told you need to get this palette, this is how you do this type of look, this is the type of brush that you need to use. Use whatever you want to, however you want to. That's the crazy troll nation way, y'all. Just being yourself and just rocking it, and know that you are amazing the way that you are. Here at the Crazy Troll Nation, we are about self-acceptance and self-love. Embracing your natural features, enhancing them if you want to, when you want to, but never feeling like you have to. And that's what we stand for. I do curse sometimes in videos because I curse, period, sometimes. So I'm going to show you what the palettes look like, and then we're going to jump in. I was going to tell you about the numbers. 7 motherships, that was 7 looks, and then pairing them, we had paired and done 11 looks. So I was saying we've done 18 looks total this month. But this look, it ups the number by 1. So this is the 12th pairing that we have done. And it has become a little more challenging to do different looks and not use the same shades or put them in the same places. But I'm really enjoying the series. And so the video that I did that you'll see after this one, I do talk about what I've learned through this series. So let's just get into it. This is what Decadence look like. It's the only one that's all metallic. For me, this shade Blue Blood right here and this shade Underworld, to me they blend out into a matte. And even this one, which is Divine Mink, it almost kind of blends out into a matte. And so until I started pairing this with other palettes, I had only used this palette for looks all by itself. And I've always heard this is a great companion palette, you know, pull mattes from other places. And I'm like, I ain't never pulled mattes from other places. But then I'm a troll and I do things different. And so, I was excited to do those videos. I think I did either 4 or 5 looks with just Decadence. And I do have a playlist for that. To show you that you can do an all metallic look if you want to. This is Bronze Seduction. We all know what this looks like by now. We know what it looks like. This is a basic palette. The only thing that excites me about this, well, aside from I love the formula, this one in every palette except Decadence, it looks white but it's not. So I'm always like, what's that going to look like? And this one in this spot is usually a dual chrome. Let me hold it the right side up. So these 4 shades are the celestial shades. In every palette, the 4 on the right side of the palette are the celestial shades. And usually these 2 are dual chrome. And whatever is up here on the left in the top corner, that's like the Skin Show type shade. And here, here, and here are all the matte shades, except Decadence because it's all metallic. So if you look at all the Motherships, they have the same design. Skin Show, matte here, matte here, matte here, and 4 celestial shades. And these two, I'm not sure what the anatomy of the palette says that they are, but these two are like something else, either just like, you know, just regular metallics. But anyway, I should have did that like in the first video explaining the breakdown of the palettes. But anyway, same base face. I have brushes ready. We're going to jump in. So first we're going to take Blue Blood, which is this shade right here. So when I say we've done 11 pairings and a total of 18 looks, that number's wrong, because doing this pairing makes the 12th pairing, which makes this series 19 looks using Motherships. Let me know if you've ever done a series and just used one brand for 19 straight looks. I mean, it sounds almost insane. And if you have more than the dryer sound going off, if you have more than, I'll say 10 palettes, yeah, I'll say that. Even rotating them in can be challenging, especially if you tend to do the same type of look. And I've heard people say, oh, I have this palette, but I've only used these shades, because we like what we like, and so we gravitate towards the same types of looks, the same types of shades. And so I really do try, well, not to say I try, I actually do it. When I get a new palette, my goal is always to use every shade in the palette, because I want to show you versatility, and I also want to get use out of what I purchased and not just use the same, you know, handful of shades. And I do have collection videos. You see what I have. I have luxury, high-end. I have a few indie brands, not many, because it seems a lot of them use pressed pigments, and my lids and my eyeballs do not tolerate pressed pigments. And so that's why certain brands I don't use, and you will never see like on my channel. If it's a good deal, you know, I might get it for a giveaway, but it's not something that I would ever use. And it's unfortunate, because in a way it's unfortunate, and in a way it's not. Unfortunate in the sense that I see palettes, I'm like, wow, like that is really nice. But then on the flip side, I'm saving money because I'm not buying, you know, new hyped up stuff that catches my eye. And what it also does is it makes me really look at my collection and really pay attention to the colors to see, you know, can I do similar looks to the ones I'm seeing with what I have? And that's why I say, even if you don't have the Motherships, you know, just look at the colors. And if you like a look, just try to dupe it out with something that you already have. So you don't need to have these. They are nice. I do like the formula, but it's not a requirement to do the looks that I'm doing. And so, you know, when people say you need to have this palette for this, and that, I'm like, no, you don't. That's what I'm saying, like, to myself, like, no, you don't need to do that. Now we're going to go into Bronze Seduction. We're going to take this shade here, which is Blitz Flame. I don't know if I put this in the center before, and I don't think so, because just looking at it, the tones don't quite go. And I thought about, oh shit, oh sorry, did I tell y'all curse? I was going to tell you I thought about doing a halo type look, and that's how my notes are written, so I need to go back and put Blue Blood on the inner corner. I was wondering why like this was in the center, but that's why. So we're going to put that brush down and go back to Blue Blood, and we're going to finish applying that shade. So that's also going to go here. And doing a halo look or a spotlight look, it does give something different for you to do, even if you're using the same colors. Like if you just do like a monochromatic look, you can switch up the placement of the shadows and turn it into a completely different type of look. And it's one of the joys of makeup, is you just make it do what you want it to do. It's just where you place your shadows. So this is this. Yeah, I'm looking at my notes over there. All right, so now we're going to go back to Blitz Flame from Bronze Seduction, and we're going to finish putting this on the center of the lid. It's funny how I was like, oh, I thought to do such and such. Yeah, that's how I wrote my notes anyway. I am so tired today. I worked down at the Playhouse last night into this morning, and it takes a toll on my body, y'all. I did sleep well, thankfully, but it's one of them sleeps where even when you wake up and it's like, okay, I need to get up because my stomach is telling me I need sustenance, I just feel like I'm dragging. And I did take a couple sips of Mountain Dew, but I don't want to say feeling lazy because I know it's just my body needing to recuperate. If you're new here, I deal with chronic joint pain. I am a disabled veteran, and so when I am more active, it takes a toll on my body. My pain flares, and our body heals or resets itself like when we're sleeping, when we're resting. And so that's why, like, when you're sick, you sleep a lot because your body is trying to reset itself. And so, but that's kind of what happens. Well, not kind of, that is what happens to me when I'm more active than usual. It used to take me like a day to bounce back. Now it takes me like 2 days, sometimes 3, depending on if I really give my body the rest that it needs. I'm not liking this, but I think I will by the time we're done. We're going to take Hedonistic. Are we? Ooh. Okay. This is from Decadence, this shade here. I have never done this combination before. I used Paradise Venus today. I don't know what's going on over here. You see this line right here? And you probably didn't, that's why I pointed it out. But there is a line right here that blush and bronzer refused to go into. And I didn't want to keep packing on Paradise Venus because it can go really deep on me. But right here, there's a line. I don't know if it's an indentation from the pillow. Like, I don't know what it is, but it just refused to hold any shadow. So what I'm hoping is, we're going to go ahead and take Hedonistic. So what I'm hoping is by the time I spray my face with the Japanese spray, that will kind of blend everything together. So we're going to take Hedonistic and we're going to put that on the line right here and on the line right here. Excuse me. Different from other people who put usually halo eyes and spotlight eyes, eye looks. I do like that better because it seems like it's blended where this isn't looking blended. But just tapping this here is giving a gradient. Most people, they take the darkest shade on the inner and outer corner. And for this look, I did do that. But for the most part, halo looks for me, I don't know if it's my eye shape or what, but I usually put the second to darkest shade outermost and innermost, and the next lightest deepest shade where I'm putting this one. And I do like that better for me. And also, I don't always like a transition shade across, like this shade here, some people will put up here. I don't like that for me. And again, I think it's my eye shape, and because I have like all of this puffiness here, and so when I bridge it, when I put a shade across here, the darker shade, I don't always like how it looks. And I kept trying to do halo looks, spotlight looks the way other people were doing them, and I never quite liked it. And I kept, just trying because I didn't want to quit. And I remember the first one I did, it was very monochromatic, so it's hard to go wrong with it. And I was like, okay, this is what I needed to do. And so again, just doing your makeup in a way that you're happy with it. This is the brush that had blue blood on it. We're not adding shadow, we're just sweeping just to bring this over just a little bit. And we're going to put some more in the inner corner. Do I have a tear duct shade? Nope. And I don't always, because I like the dark and smoky, and sometimes doing an inner corner tear duct takes away from that, especially if I'm doing a dark shadow on the lower lash line. So now what we're going to do, this is very that's brighter. I thought it was going to come out more reddish. Sort of like this versus orangey. But it's different, and because it's different, I like it. And now we're going to take, very simple look. Now we're going to take the black, and I did sharpen it last night. I was going to say something, but I'll save that for later because I'm not sure. I don't remember if I mentioned it in the wrap-up video, like what I've learned this month doing a month of McGrath. So I'm going to hold that thought, and hopefully I did mention it. But just keep in mind the numbers are off. If I remember, I'll do a pinned comment, or it'll just be, the numbers will just be off. So it'll be 19 looks total versus the 18 I kept saying. Because I just kept feeling like I'm using Bronze Seduction in a lot of pairings. And it was, and I think, and I know, I'm pretty sure I mentioned it, because of these two browns. But I'm just like, is that all it's about? Is just them two browns? Like, does everyone use brown transition shades? And I do use Entrapment. I have used it a few times for transition, but for me it was more brow bone up here. And actually we're gonna do that today. Yay. While we're using the eye pencil, we're gonna go ahead. I don't think that's gonna look right. We're gonna go ahead and line our lips. And I'm saying I don't know if this is gonna look right because one of, actually two of the glosses, they show up like blue on me. And this look is not blue. It may be by the time we finish the lower lash line. My lips are so crooked. And I know you can finagle your liner to make your lips look symmetrical. I'd rather just embrace my features and not try too hard, because sometimes the more I try, like the worse it gets. So it's like, why did I bother? I know my lips are not even. I'm not a professional makeup artist. For me, it is not that serious. And plus the looks usually look nice anyway, so I'm like, does it really matter if my lips look like? Because that is really how my lips look. Not that exaggerated, but my lips are crooked. And if I was a professional makeup artist, then yes. You know, you want stuff to look even. You know, it's their wedding pictures or birthday pictures or whatever the occasion is. Professional work pictures or editorial shoots. And they're going to be a magazine. The pictures are going to be a magazines or, you know, whatever. And so I do understand the importance of symmetry. But for me, regular everyday troll, nah, it's not that important. And also, it depends on what you want to look like. If you're okay with your face not being symmetric, let it stay that way. And not try so hard to make your face something it's not. But that's just me. And that's part of, I'm gonna leave this like this, because if I keep trying to fill in inside where you see my skin, it's just gonna bleed more once I put the gloss on. So we're gonna do our lower lash line. We're gonna take, this eye is tearing. Damn it, I didn't even, yesterday this eye teared so bad, I lost all color, like right here on my lower lash line. And because I kept, and it was like actually like tears coming down, so I just ended up, you know, I was patting it first and I was losing concealer, and there was a line of demarcation where you can see where the concealer stopped. But then at some point, I just, you know, wiped straight across, and it just completely wiped it away, but it still looked natural. So I'm like, oh, I should have did that in the first place. But anyway, yeah, and I don't know why with this one eye, and I think I kept saying it felt like it was something in there, so I don't know what had happened, but That's what it did. So we're going to take Disobedient, this shade here. And even with my glasses on, I was still able to tell that I was missing shadow under there. You couldn't really tell the concealer was missing. Actually, I couldn't tell the concealer was missing. Even looking at this side, no concealer, and this side concealer, it didn't look much different. But it was obvious that right here, like, there was no eyeliner color. Even with the glasses on, it was noticeable. And you know what's ironic? Quite a few people were like, oh, I love your eyeshadow. And I'm just like, thank you. So that goes back to when I say most people don't notice. Like, we can be our own worst critic. Because to me, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's like a patch of no shadow here. And it's clear that it's shadow here. People didn't even notice, y'all. And it was obvious. Like, seriously obvious. And it was so bad that before I left, I was like, okay, I'm running a little late. But do I have 5 minutes to just wipe all my makeup off, wash my face, and leave home barefaced? And I said, you know what? No, I'm going to just leave it because it is what it is. Nobody noticed. Nobody noticed. I'm just like, life is good. Now we're going to take Lapis Luxury, which is this shade here. So you know what? If the lip does turn out blue, why was I going to put this on my lip? If the lip does turn out blue, it'll match the lower lash line. So I wanted to put this here just to break up the monotony of what the upper lid is looking like, just to add some funkiness. This eye is tearing, and I feel like it's starting to come down. Shit. And it's wet right here. What the hell? The brush is wet. That's because I'm supposed to be resting. Not doing a video. I like this because it's different. And looking at it like this because of all the blank space, I am going to take Blitz Flame up a little higher. Or do I want to just take the transition shade first? I'm going to take Blitz Flame a little higher first. What brush did we use for that? Not that one. We used this one for Blitz Flame. So we're going to go back in that. That's that middle shade. And we're just going to tap up here above where it is on the center of my lid. I even like that better than just here. So now I'm like, do I want to, this eye is starting to tear. Oh my gosh, y'all. I was disappointed in myself today. Not overly so. Doing these series takes a lot of organization and planning. And so in my calendar, I have when to post the flat lays for each look on Instagram, and the pictures on Twitter. And tonight I was going to do, I think it was, I don't remember what pairing it was. I think it was Bronze Seduction with Sublime, Mothership #2. But I didn't have the flat lay picture. And I'm like, damn it. So I didn't post it on Twitter. I didn't post it on... I didn't post the flat lay picture on Twitter, but I did post the look. And I didn't post it at all on Instagram. And then I'm like, I could, look to see what I use and pull everything out. I'm like, you know what? No. So I do like this a little better already because it's less blank space. There's something in this eye. I can feel it. Oh, damn. We're going to take... It's always something with me. We're going to take Entrapment, this shade here. And I'm just going to tap lightly. And I'm going straight in. It is a tapered brush. And we're just going to just tap. I don't want to put a lot of color here. But I want to take away the color of the primer. And I know some of y'all are probably saying, why do you still take your primer all the way up there? Well, because I take my lid shade so far up, I don't always know where to stop the primer. So that's why I do take the primer all the way up to here. So if you can see the difference, and I am just tapping lightly, if you can see the difference between where it is here and where it's not, that's a subtle difference. And I do still like this, but I like this better because this actually blends in with my skin tone, whereas this actually just looks like a brow bone highlight versus blending in with the skin tone. But I like this better. This eye is tearing and the corner is tearing. Why are you tearing? Oh my gosh. I don't know. I really don't. But we're gonna still do the real /short. And I know for the one, excuse me if you heard my throat gurgle, the one I said I didn't have the flat lay for, what I believe happened is when I take the pictures, it goes in my camera folder. And when I take, when I crop the screenshots into pictures and then I do the collage, that goes into a folder that says video caption. And so I have to move the video caption pictures into a folder that I label PML M2 and 5, because then that's the palettes that I used. But because the flat lay picture is in my camera folder, I have to move that picture to the PML folder. And I think well, obviously I forgot to do that. We're going to go lightly right here. So there's a lot of moving some pictures around to make sure they get in the folder they need to go into. And I try to do it right after I do the screenshot pictures, because I'm like, if I wait, I'm going to forget and it's not going to get done, and that might be what happened with this. So we are going to, there is definitely something in this eye. I can feel it. Jeepers. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to spray the face. I kind of want to do my lip now. Why is that looking patchy? And that's what I'm saying. My lips feel so dry. But we're going to go ahead and spray the face. Not as much as yesterday. I am just like, this stuff is everywhere. And so I'm hoping it does take away that. Not really. Now we're going to do eyeliner for the upper lash line to remind me to keep my eyes open. I also don't know why yesterday there's a patch like right here. I can see it from that spray, like right there. And you guys are probably like, Dion, we don't see nothing that you're talking about. Yesterday, maybe I sprayed too much or I was too close, but both of my eyelids were burning. And I was like, why are my eyes burning? Or maybe I opened my eyes too soon and it got in my eyes, because it's in the air since it is an aerosol. But that was the first time my lids and my eyes burned after spraying that. So I was surprised. I'm trying to put my elbow here, but there's brushes here. How about you move your brushes? No, I don't. This is one of them times where it's like, why does it seem like I just make things more challenging for myself? And I think about in the Army, they would say work smarter, not harder. And there's times when I do feel like I'm just making it harder for myself. And not that it's hard, but there's an easier way. You know what I mean? I hope I don't have fallout from that blue shade. I don't see it, but that doesn't mean it might not really be there. I'll see it after I take pictures, which happens sometimes. And then I'm just like, oh my gosh. So we want to come back over here and just do a small wing. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And then we're going to do the lip and the look will be done. I have noticed too, these last couple videos have been shorter. And I think it's because I'm talking less. When I talk more, I apply my makeup slower. So that's a skill I don't really have. It's just doing a quick eyeshadow look while talking about something. I hope you guys are enjoying the scavenger hunt. That video aired today. Today is July 22nd. I was excited. I'm like, oh, today is the day. Ah! And it was in my calendar. And so during my wake-ups, I would reply to messages and then go back to sleep. But I am really excited. And I'm thinking of including other things from in my Macari store that people have hearted. They liked it. But there's no offers and they're not buying it. And so I'm thinking of adding other stuff. It wouldn't be it wouldn't be luxury or high-end. I don't know. I'll ask in my community tab because it's a brand that was problematic. And I think that's why it's not selling, even though people are clicking to like it. But they're just not pulling the trigger to purchase it. But I think that's what it is. And so yeah, I'll put a note for myself to ask in the community tab as we get closer. I still need to bundle things up. Then I'll be doing that in a couple days. I just like stuff to be used and to have a good home and not just sitting here. And if people are not going to buy it, it needs to go somewhere. And some of the palettes are like mid-size, and so I don't necessarily want to use them for eclectic beauty because I don't have enough. Because one place I think has like 12 beds. I don't think I have enough for 12 people, and I do try to keep all the bags equal in value and in content when I drop them off. And so we'll see about that. I'm missing a darker upper lash line color, but this is kind of funky. So I'm gonna take Astral Flash Dance and we're gonna put this on and see what what this looks like. We used Astral Moonflower yesterday and it was blue. So let's see. Yeah, it looks like this one, right? And that's what I was saying. Like, they look like they would be so different, but when you put them over black, kind of look the same. So it's like, why? Like, why keep them both? Yeah, they look the same. That greenish tint to it. And it's disappointing because they look so different. This expires in a couple months, so part of me is like, just keep it. This is down to here, so this is a third of the way used, almost halfway used. This is still kind of near the top, so I'm not sure. Because I did put this in my makeup trash and then I took it out. Let me know what you think. And I took pictures and everything and forgot we didn't do our cheek highlight. And so we are doing something really different today. And we are going to take, what shade are we taking? We're going to take Sinful, this shade here, as our cheek highlight. I'm not tapping off. We're going to put, oh man. We're going to put that there. Oh my gosh. So we are tapping in like this. Like a tap and a slight swipe. Whoa. Whoa. I am digging it. So yeah, I'm going to retake pictures. I did a tap swipe one more time. See, how it just migrates inward. Ugh. That's annoying. Yeah, so this won't stay on long. Yeah. But this, that's this shade right here, Sinful. Wow. All right, I'm gonna do pictures again. This is really it. Thank you. When you see the video, the lessons I've learned, that will be the end of month of McGrath, even though we are still going to come back and use the quads. But I'm excited that it's over. It feels like it's been a long journey, and it has. It's been an entire month. And we've done 19 looks total with 7 motherships. I would have never thought to do such a thing. And I'm really excited that I did it, and I'm glad that I did it. But I'm not going to get into that because you'll hear that in that video. Meanwhile, as always, self-acceptance, self-love, that is the Crazy Troll Nation way. If you're still here, click the like button. Feel free to share my videos. Comments are always welcome. I do reply back to everybody. And let me know what you're thinking about this look. I think it's funky in a good way. You know what? It looks almost to me like I'm going to a punk rock concert. Because we have the fiery up here, and then we have like the bluish down here. And of course the black lip, which surprisingly, I don't think quite goes with the look. It definitely goes with the lower lash line. And if I didn't have the blue underneath, I think it would just add depth to the overall look, because this is just so fiery up here. But I'm digging it because it's different. It just feels like something's missing up top because it's no depth really. And I could pack on more of this, but we're going to keep it. I like the blend. I like the shadows that we use and how they work together. So if you're wanting to do just a really easy, simple cerise shadow halo eye look / spotlight eyeshadow look, here you go. Thank you, and you will see me soon.